Good evening. Today I would like to share with you one of the most critical questions that our studio is facing while working with and for underserved communities in India, while creating equitable spaces with them. What is the value of empathy in design practice? Now, as is the habit in this part of the world, no conversation or meeting is complete without a cup of chai. The time of day doesn't matter, and I would definitely recommend not showing up at meal times for meetings because you will be fed lots of food. I have 5 minutes to go through this project with you, so in the interest of time, I would like us to go with the new metric here, which is a cup of chai is equal to a meeting or a conversation. Located in Mumbai, this is one of the public housing projects we've been working on with the residents to help improve their built environment. Slum dwellers, pavement dwellers, and those living by the railway tracks in Mumbai were moved into public housing about 2 decades ago when the city of Mumbai adopted a very aggressive redevelopment program. In this particular case, this residential complex is called Natwar Parekh Colony. It's spread over 6 hectares with 69 buildings, and there are a total of 6,624 buildings in this colony. Being very conservative, we might say that there are about 5 families living per apartment, but in extreme cases, you have 3 families who have divided up this 229 square feet of space, both vertically and horizontally, and 14 members live in this particular home. This is one of the streets in this particular colony. The families living here keep their homes so clean that I've sat with them on their apartment floor for a meal or a cup of chai. This is definitely not a reflection of who they are as a community. Of course, we're all very familiar with India's trash problem, but that is something that you see generally in the public domain. This is right outside the neighborhood's doorsteps. After a number of meetings, with the community, an opportunity to perhaps make a slight improvement through design interventions came through. There are many designers in the audience who I'm sure will agree this is a simple enough intervention. I thought, great, a nice demonstration will set us up to go about fixing 1 lane, 1 corner, 1 building at a time. And hopefully the quality of life for the residents here might get slightly better. So a handful of community members say, great, let's start cleaning up first. And I thought, of course, that's what needs to happen. And this will help me understand the relationship that the community has with its external space. This was a good sign for me, but I was a little confused as to why the entire neighborhood didn't come on board for this. So about 4 or 6 lanes got cleaned up. And we had a big party to celebrate the cleanup. I think we might find it very strange that we just cleaned up the front yard. What's the big deal? Why are we having a big party? But this is a good sign. So I'm thinking that, yes, we're going to do something really interesting in this neighborhood, a good demonstration project. But here we are, back to where we started. I might have looked visibly upset when I came to this after a couple of months. One of the ladies took me aside and said, hey, I'd like to share something with you. Please don't think that we're all the same way. We may be from the same religion, but the trash is being thrown by the people from across the building who come from this different part of the country. And that got me a little confused because I was thinking that these residents have lived in Mumbai for decades, come from very similar economic backgrounds, yet they saw each other as being slightly different or very different. I've lost the count of the number of cups of chai I've had over a period of 3 years now. These conversations became more commonplace, of course. This is a classic blame game. But it also became a window into how different groups engage with and perceive each other. Interesting nuances began to emerge. Another instance when people from the same community, originating from the same village perhaps, said, well, our slum was in upscale South Mumbai, so we have better etiquettes than the people living on the ground floor because they were on the railway tracks in a not so wealthy part of the neighborhood. It appeared that there are no systematic ways to create surveys or workshops to learn this except through good old conversations. And to get the community to begin to trust me that I'm not there to judge the way they think or their way of life. And in many instances, these conversations began to give me insights, and just the act of listening helped me a great deal. I was rediscovering all these issues that seemed so obvious in the beginning. And we started questioning how we present these ideas and these questions to the communities and if we need to relook at it. But my struggle is how to afford the time to truly connect with communities while setting up a business with a finite set of resources. It is not simply the quantity or the quality of these connections. How does one measure the depth of these connections in order to justify the time and money spent? Thank you.